everyone, to a new episode of the Rise Up podcast. My name is Danny Silva, your host. This podcast is powered by the Scouts of Real Estate, and today we're going to be talking about a very important topic, one of the most important topics actually when you're purchasing a home, which is home inspections. We have a very special guest here, Danny Land from Landmade Inspections. He's one of the inspectors that we work with. So we're going to learn a whole lot of things about inspections today, what to expect, what to look for. So welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining us today. Pleasure is all mine. I've had the pleasure to work with you a couple of times. And the idea of bringing you in is because you're part of our community. And the topic that we're talking about today is extremely important for someone that's purchasing a home. Danny Land, why don't you introduce yourself, Danny?
My name is Danny Land. I am the owner and operator of Landmade Inspections.
Perfect. How long you've been doing inspections for, Danny?
I started doing inspections in 2010, so going on 10 years, just wrapping up into 11 years now. Before that, I was a carpenter and a contractor, straight out of high school, framed houses for many years, did additions, renovations, alterations. So that got me into the business.
Nice. How long were you a carpenter for? How long did you go to like a technical school or something like that, or you just went into the trade after you finished high school?
I guess technically I'm a fourth generation carpenter. Started off with my great-great-grandfather. So it was something I automatically was kind of brought into, learning with my father, with my grandfather, things like that. And it just kind of happened. In high school, I was looking for a job, had a friend whose father was a carpenter, and said, I know a group of guys that's looking for somebody, and away I went.
Yeah, nice. So framing, trimming, like all areas of
everything.
Yeah.
Started off framing, went into trim work, cabinet work, making my own cabinets, custom things, custom woodworking, and now I'm still doing some carpentry, but it's more furniture building. So somebody wants a custom table, custom bench, I still do that kind of work.
Oh wow. How do you find time to do stuff like that? Because I know I was talking to you the other day, and you're like, bro, like this is the busiest for me, and
yeah. Sadly, I don't have any time for the carpentry right now. I have a fairly large carpentry shop over in Newtown, and I haven't stepped foot in it in a while, unfortunately.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone working there now, or?
Nope, just me.
Yeah.
I prefer just working by myself, which is one of the nice things about home inspections. I don't have any employees. It's just me. I'm the guy that answers the phone. I'm the guy that does the inspections, types the reports.
No overhead.
No overhead.
Nice.
Which is nice to have.
Nice. And I remember one of the inspections that we were doing together, you told me that you had to do 100 inspections with another inspector before you even... how does that work?
The process to get your inspection license in the state of Connecticut is you must do 100 apprenticed inspections before even applying to take your license test. It's a very strict, regimented schedule. They give you the opportunity, they give you several years to get it done, but you have to get your internship license with the state. You have to document each one of the inspections you do, and your mentor, if you will, has to sign off on each one, and it's an education process.
Right. So just out of curiosity, so you're a carpenter, and that's what you did for however many years before you were an inspector. How were you trained on the other areas of a property, for example, the mechanicals and to give a opinion? And obviously, I've seen some of the reports, like you have to look for someone that's licensed electrician in this, but from the looks of it, this is what my opinion is. So
yeah, exactly. The state of Connecticut also requires that you do some kind of home inspection course classwork. It has to be a certain number of hours you go through. So there's a lot of book information, a lot of practical information. And then with the state test, they're very cautious about making sure that you're aware of the different electrical problems, different plumbing problems. Basically just a lot of book reading, a lot of practice, a lot of research.
Right. And especially with the internet these days, right? Like sometimes that maybe like you can take a look at a YouTube video of someone.
The internet can be a wonderful spot to go for information, but at the same time, you got to be careful about watching things on YouTube, because there's a lot of people out there that just don't know what they're doing, that are putting videos out just for the sake of putting a video out.
Yeah.
It could be entertaining. I'll watch a video and look at it and say, no, please don't do that. That's not the way to do it.
That's not what we're going to do here.
Yeah. And that shows up in houses. I see a lot of people doing their own work by something they may have seen, something that seems like the right idea, and it's the complete wrong thing to do.
Right. No, the reason for my question is a inspection is a break or a make. You could either break or make a transaction. It's really important, and as you know, actually how important it is to do an inspection coming from a specialist, so the audience can understand, because it's one of the things that, you know, sometimes we get clients that they're like, no, I have a friend that's been doing, he's a handyman. He can come and look at the house and whatnot. And I'm like, no. We gotta do these things, because obviously at the end of the day, it's their decision. But you know, we highly recommend inspections for everything. So, what can you say about a home inspection? The importance of it, Danny?
I think you absolutely said it when you said it's a pivotal part of the home purchasing process. If you having somebody that believes they know what they're doing on houses, a handyman, a carpenter, my father-in-law is a contractor, they're focused on how to do their particular job. They're focused on how to, let's say, build a house. They don't know how to look for damages in a house.
Right.
Maybe if they have some repair experience, but they're not looking at all the different systems. And I see it a lot. I see a lot of people say, my father-in-law wants to come. He's a carpenter. He's a contractor. And they usually show up with, their chest kind of puffed out. I'm here to protect my kid or my daughter. And then we go through the process and they back off. They see that maybe they don't know everything about a house. Yeah. I mean, I don't know everything about a house, but you're paying for my experience.
Right.
My 25 years working on homes and framing houses, repairing houses, seeing the damages that are caused by deficiencies, knowing what to be looking for. And I'm still learning every day. So,
It's funny that you said that, because we get that a lot. The brother that all of a sudden is a specialist on everything in the house, or the cousin that comes in and they come in with their guards up, like going like, oh no, but what about this and what about that? So it sometimes can be challenging, because it's like they're giving their opinion on maybe like some stuff that they don't even like know that much. I love inspections. I'm always there for them, because I'm always learning.
Sure.
This is a product that I truly believe in, and thank God that is something that I got into. It's to me, it doesn't feel like I'm working. It's something that it's a product that I believe in, mm-hmm. that I invest in.
Sure.
And it gives me joy to take someone out of rent, or to help someone to maybe buy a multifamily. Now there's passive income.
Mm-hmm.
You and I
absolutely
some inspections with some of our investors. So I always like to be there. Like now I know so much more now than I did before. Now, like sometimes like something that I learned with you, and I'm always going through the reports that you send out. So because like you said, like you've been doing this for 25 years, experience that you bring in is key. and the more that I can also prepare them before we meet with you, this is why this is important. This is why we need to do. For example, let's just say, just throwing a number out there. Let's say a client pays $500 for a inspection, and all of a sudden now we find some stuff that's wrong with the house, that some items that's gonna cost $20,000 to $30,000.
Sure.
Like, why not pay that $500 to sleep well at night? You know what I mean? That's
yeah, absolutely.
That's
you're getting information on the house that you're buying. What should I prepare for in the near future? How old is my furnace? How old is my roof? If you have well water, if you have a septic system, those key things that you need to be informed about, because a new roof can range $8,000, $12,000, $15,000 or more depending on the size of the house. Septic systems, $20,000, $40,000, $50,000. You want to be well prepared for those things when you are purchasing a house.
Right.
Because what may look beautiful on the outside, even going through the house, it could look brand new. Mm-hmm. But there's key things that I'm looking for, key things that other inspectors might be looking for, whether it's a septic inspector, a well inspector. Get as much information as you can about a house before you go spending that much money.
Yeah.
Because it's financial considerations you need to be prepared for in the future. And if I can help with that, help identify the possible deficiencies or things that may be coming up, perhaps it's something you can negotiate with the current seller about. Maybe it's something you can better prepare for.
Right. But on that topic, I every once in a while I meet with some other agents just to brainstorm on a few things, and I've heard a couple of from a couple of agents out there that some inspectors, for example, we understand that you're there and you're doing your job and you're pointing everything that you think that needs to be done, but it's kind of like, for example, you're not buying a brand new house. Sure. You're not buying a brand new car. So like some of these realtors that said that the deal went south because of the inspector when it's like just like don't like this, and at the same time it's not a brand new house. Right. So when in my case, like, I'm always looking for like big ticket items, anything that has to do with like safety, and really stuff that really matters, because if there's like a loose knob or there's like some something, like, you know what I mean, like, but some of these guys, I feel like they scare buyers away, at least from I'm getting this from other people, and I've seen it in some of the inspections that I've done myself, not myself, but some of the inspectors that I've encountered over the years. What's your opinion on that?
There's definitely inspectors out there that, to use a realtor term, they're alarmists. They go into a house and they just start pointing things out. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. There's no such thing as a perfect house. Even brand new houses are far from being perfect. So there's always going to be something. Right. There's health and safety issues, which are the things that we're really focusing on. And then there's cosmetic details. And I tell my clients, I'm not here looking for cosmetic details. I will point something out. I'll make a recommendation. Loose door handles, doorknobs. No, I'm not putting that in the report. If somebody asks me to, put that in the report so I can remember to do that. Sure, no problem, I can do that. It's just a photograph. But it's not what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on items that are significant. And I'm fully aware that there's nothing in a house that can't be repaired. You can rebuild an entire foundation underneath a house. You can reframe an entire house, little bits and pieces here and there. So everything can be fixed, and I think that's important to keep in mind when you are doing an inspection. I'm there to identify the condition of the house. I'm there to help my clients figure out what's important, what's significant, what it may involve to repair something. Right. I don't give quotes or estimates. I'm not there to give any kind of pricing. And I'll tell people, you have to do your due diligence and get quotes from different contractors. You have to bring in a specialist for something in particular. And again, it's like you say, alarmists.
Yeah. And trust me, I'm one to always fight for my clients on the items that we really see that this can be a deal breaker. That's one of the reasons why I like to have the septic and the well inspection prior to you coming in the picture. Yes. Because those are extremely big ticket items right there. Like we're looking at $20,000 for a septic, depending on the soil, on like there's a lot of factors that come into it. Like I've seen septic systems that cost close to $30,000. A well, maybe $15,000. Am I okay with these numbers? So if we run into an issue right there and we see that we're not going to be able to move forward, which this just happened to me not too long ago. The septic was shot, and the owner was like, "No, I'm just not going to put a new one in, and right. We're selling it as is." So my client had to walk away from the transaction. So I feel like it's really important that to know these, and I try to prepare my clients and like, you're not purchasing a brand new home. This is, it's kind of like buying a used car. Maybe, it's not brand new out of the factory. So there is going to be some stuff that's going to be wrong with the house, sure. But we're going to guide you in the right direction where we think what are the most important ones. What other than the building inspections, do you offer any other type of inspection, like water, radon?
Water, radon. Those are the two big things that most people are incorporating with their home inspection. Radon testing, I have continual monitors. I set them up in the house. I go back 2 days later, I pick them up, and I get my results right then. Water testing, I collect water samples, and I send them off to a lab here in Connecticut, and they send us results. Very comprehensive, very thorough. Right. And for me, if I was purchasing a home, I wouldn't get one without getting a water quality test. If right. The house is on a private well. If you're on city water, you don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Because there could be like some type of like bacteria and
exactly, right? Yeah. The harmful things, the bacteria, things that are going to make you sick, arsenic, uranium. Then there's also different parameters that they're looking for, hardness, acidity, things like that. Things that are going to affect the water in your house, the plumbing in your house. You don't want excessive minerals building up on your faucets, on your shower right, walls, things right. like that.
Yeah. And these are the things that the homeowners have to take care of prior to the new owners.
The health items in
right?
there, yes. Yeah. As far as cosmetic stuff, if you have hard water, if it's moderately hard, you're going to get some water spots on your glassware. It doesn't pose a health concern. So something like that might be a little bit difficult to negotiate for. But mm-hmm. yeah, any kind of bacteria, definitely get that treated before moving ahead.
Yeah. What about the radon? If you let's just say it comes back, how does it work again? It has to be under a certain level, right?
Yes, radon levels are set by the EPA. They recommend installing a remediation system for anything over 4.0 picocuries per liter. Most houses around here, I see levels averaging under that. Maybe 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10 houses are above levels. Installing a mitigation system is very easy. Company comes in, drills a hole in your basement floor, runs a pipe to the outside with a little fan, vents out the radon. Simple as that.
Nice. I gotta ask this. What's like one of the craziest things you've ever encountered on the home inspections? I know you go into hundreds of these homes. What's something interesting that you've ran into?
The list is too long to really narrow anything down. Some of the more memorable ones. It's always entertaining when somebody forgets that there's a home inspection that day. You walk into a bedroom and there's somebody asleep in the bed.
Right.
To give each other a good scare.
Mm-hmm.
A snake in a crawl space. That was an interesting one, you know. And sometimes just the clients or the homeowners are entertaining in their own personal way. I had one customer, as we walked into the house, he said, "You're going to test the washing machine, right?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely." He says, "Is it okay if I put a load of laundry in?" I said, "We don't have time to run a full cycle and let it dry as well, but yeah, I guess it's up to the agent and the homeowner, I suppose."
Yeah.
I think one of the also entertaining things, I make it a point. I always open up and look inside an oven before I turn it on. And one day I opened up an oven and it was jam full of dirty laundry.
Oh wow.
And the homeowners wanted to clean up before the inspection, not realizing that I needed to test the oven, and just took all that dirty laundry and shoved it in there. So we didn't.
A way of hiding it. A way of hiding it. Right.
We all do it.
Yeah. Reminds me of when we were younger. My sisters had to wash the dishes every day before my dad got home, and this is like back in Brazil. So there was like a little tree behind our house that every once in a while they would hide the dishes there because they didn't want to wash the dishes.
Yeah.
All right, Danny. With all the New Yorkers coming into town, we live in Danbury, Connecticut. It's one of the closest. It's an easy commute for the people that live there. And are you really busy with this new crowd coming in? What's going on with that?
I'd say they probably account for about 95% of my customers right now.
Wow, 95, Danny.
They're getting out of the city. They're coming into the country. And it's interesting. They're more used to city living, so it's a little bit more involved to explain to them how a particular house works. And that's one of the main things of a home inspection. I'm not just there looking for deficiencies in a house. I'm also there to educate the buyers on how their particular house works. I'm showing them where the main water valve is. I'm showing them where the main electrical disconnect is. I'm giving them tips and advice on maintaining their house. Clean out your gutters twice a year. Go around the outside, look for any signs of moisture damage. Keep your patios clear away from the house. Things like that somebody that's coming from city living may not fully be aware of. Things that they're not keeping in mind. And I'm putting those items in the report. Hey, do this, do this. And it allows them to take the report and use it more of a user manual for their home, if you will.
Right.
Just little things to focus on. This is how you maximize the lifespan and the integrity of your house and the components within it.
And this almost be like, these people are like, a septic? What is that, right? Like, It's just very interesting how it, like, I had to ask this question because, I would say, I wouldn't say 95%, but at least like 60% of our business here, of our team are coming, like the New Yorkers coming in. All right, Danny. Hey, listen, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
We're going to be putting up your information down on the link here, your name, your phone number. If anybody wants to hire Danny, he's one of the inspectors that we work with here. He's amazing, professional. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate, because I feel like time is especially now, how busy you are. Time is very valuable. You're taking time to come here to help us out by feeding our community with some knowledge regarding, real estate and a little bit. But if anybody wants to, hire your services and get a little bit more to like a one-on-one type of thing, we're going to be putting some of that information here. Once again, thank you so much. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Danny Land. Thank you, and
Thank you.
I'll see you soon. The more I see you, the more I like it, because it means that, we're doing some business out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks again, my brother. Appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thank you.